That's very different. Never mind.
A couple of days ago, I made a video. Wow. Turned out, I've stirred up some controversy and got myself caught right in the middle of it. I have been feeling low energy. I wanted to find out why. I've been hearing lately more and more about people saying that carnivore is a great diet, and I agree. I have been one of carnivore's biggest proponents. Not only carnivore, but strict carnivore. I've demonized carbohydrates, seed oils, the medical community. But evidently, this is a divisive subject. I got a slew of comments. I can't read these comments and not take what they say into consideration because these comments are written by you. And with very few exceptions, you are smart people. If you weren't smart people, you wouldn't be in this space, in the carnivore space. You wouldn't be in this space anyway. Problem for me, once I read these comments, I can't unread them. I can't unread them. So many points you've made require consideration. You may not believe it, but my mind can change on any subject, on any one of my most strongly held beliefs. I can change my mind in an instant. In an instant. Given the right, believable, common sense evidence, and especially when that evidence comes from something I experience firsthand. Because, let's face it, that's all we can really believe in. Everything else is secondhand information and opinion. And even we can be wrong. We can think something caused what we noticed, but it was something else. You cannot be married to anything. My whole YouTube persona exists because of carnivore. My reputation as a pretty much hard-ass carnivore is easy to understand. Yet, if I continue to keep espousing that opinion when my actual beliefs have changed, I'm doing what most people in the world do. To hell with honesty, they say. I make my living like this. My reputation is built on this. My legacy is built on this. They say, yes, when I first started this, I really believed it. But now I don't, so how do I come out and tell people that I don't? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't believe in carnivore anymore. I'm still practicing strict carnivore. I still believe it. I have the health benefits to prove it. I try to be very transparent with everybody. Maybe that carb cycling video I made was a mistake because you misunderstood what I was saying, and I want to clarify that. Number one, something real has happened to me. I've had a stroke. Everybody tells me, or at least everybody in the medical community tells me it. My high cholesterol and the carnivore diet is responsible for that stroke. I don't believe that. I still don't believe that. That's irrelevant. After the stroke, my energy levels are terrible. I want to know why. I want to try to fix it. It may be the diet. It may be I need something that I'm not getting. It may be the effects of the stroke. And as been pointed out to me in some of your comments, I've been told in no uncertain terms, it wasn't the stroke. It's not your diet. You're just getting old. Well, I can't discount that either. I think the rapid change in the way I feel is, of course, because of the stroke. In the recovery, I have good days and bad days. But everybody's got an opinion. The problem is, how do I decide what's real? The only way I can know is by experimenting. Problem with experimenting is there's no instant sign that what you're doing is right. You can make a change and give it a decent amount of time to see what happens. If something noticeable happens, before you make it the next change. And you can only make these changes one at a time. That's science. You have to change one thing, make everything else constant, and see what that one change brings about. I talked a lot about maybe adding carbs in my diet. I thought about what carbs. I turned and talked about blueberries, and I got a flurry of comments. That's your addiction talking, Mitch. That's why you want blueberries, because you're addicted to them. That may be true, but they still are a low carb, fairly, mostly fiber, low. The consensus is they're low oxalate, and yes, I am addicted to them. Haven't done that yet. I haven't added blueberries yet. My first step was to remove caffeine. And see if that's what the problem was. Because it seems that when I drank a couple cups of caffeinated coffee, I got some energy back. And I don't want to be running on caffeine. I enjoy the coffee because I enjoy coffee. It's a ritual for me. It's morning coffee with Mitch. So 3 days ago, I decided I'm going to drink just decaffeinated coffee and not that much of it. Well, I think that the results are coming in from the first 3 days of my first experiment. And that is, I felt like garbage for the past, since I cut out the caffeine. How long will it take? I have to give it another 3-4 days to let my body get used to not having the caffeine and see if my energy comes back to a point where it's more than it was when I started this experiment. That might tell me that I'm having detrimental results from drinking the caffeine. So I'm going to have to extend this little part of the experiment another 2, 3, 4 days maybe, and we'll see what happens. I definitely can tell the difference between when I have some energy and no energy, and that difference is really exacerbated by recovering from this stroke. I'll let you know. But for the time being, let me make it abundantly clear that I am not a turncoat on the carnivore community. Every single thing I've ever said in every video of mine about carnivore, about the chemistry, about curing addiction, none of that has changed, nor will it ever change. If anything ever changes, it will be very small and minor, but maybe important. Who's right? Is Bart Kay right? Or is Robert Sivas right? Is Ben Azadi right? Or is Anthony Chafee right? Where does Ken Berry really stand? Because he talks an awful lot about keto and ketovore. I would say most of his community is made up of people who do eat some carbs. Many of my community here have told me in comments to this video that they eat a little carbs and it doesn't hurt them. I think it's okay. I am not a carnivore Nazi. If you can eat some pickles, cook with some onions, stay very, very low carb, maybe under 10 grams or 20 grams a day, continue to benefit from ketosis, and those things enrich your life, nobody has the right to tell you not to do it. That's as bad as your doctor yelling at you because you don't want to take the statin he's trying to jam down your throat. So my friends, the birds are chirping. It's a gorgeous sunny day. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I've done my research on decaffeinated coffee. The consensus seems to be that the amount of caffeine left in decaffeinated coffee is negligible. 2 to 3% the amount of caffeinated coffee. Another factor about decaffeinated coffee is it's still coffee. It still comes from a plant. But I don't worry about that because I think the biggest no-no about drinking a small to moderate amount of coffee a day, the biggest no-no comes from the caffeine. So, one thing at a time. I'm still hoping that the caffeine, I may have stumbled on it right off the bat, and the caffeine may be the thing that's been causing me not to feel as good as I could. I've always felt much better in the morning and gone to hell in the afternoon after the coffee is gone. That's why I suspect that it is the caffeine. I hope I'm right. I would like nothing more than to be able to say, I found the problem. I don't need to start exploring the carb cycling. I'll take both sides have logical arguments, but I'll side with the ones that say you don't need carbs at all. And that you're not going to suffer from what they call insulin suppression. So many of these things we've given names to, insulin resistance, insulin suppression, these are only constructs of symptoms and somebody's theory about what's going on. So, I don't want the misconception among people, especially people who have been loyal followers of mine for a long time, that I am a turncoat and turning my back on all of you. I am still very much and very strongly one of you. I am a carnivore. So So about my video from a couple days ago, after all the hoorah and the dust settles, never mind. Take the rest of the day off. Eat meat.